Fresh tomatoes are approximately 94% water, 3% sugar, 2% fiber, and 1% protein. They also contain other nutrients such as vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, lycopene in particular, substances which are very important for our body. What can be done to preserve the nutrients found in tomatoes year-round? From this, the need for processed tomatoes arose. The first trials were set up in Parma in the mid-800s, and the new cans were presented in Paris during the 1878 Universal Exhibition. Thus, a very important supply chain has grown up, and in 2007, the Interbranch Organisation of Processing Tomato of Northern Italy was founded. 1,695 farms grouped into 15 producer organisations, 24 processing companies working in 29 factories. The IO represent over 50% of Italian processed tomatoes and about 25% of European processed tomatoes. This is what led to the foundation of the PREFER project, financed by the European Commission's Life Plus programme. Its objective is to measure the environmental impact of various products. In our case, the study was applied to the Northern Italy tomato supply chain. The production of tomato paste, pulp and sauce was analysed using 14 indicators, including CO2 emissions, the consumption of water and energy, and the use of fertilisers and agrochemicals. We're the first to carry out such a comprehensive study of the food chain, a business that cultivates around 35,000 hectares of land and transforms 2.5 million tonnes of tomatoes. We'll now analyse the stages of the life cycle of our products step by step. Today, seeds are sown in the greenhouse in the early spring. When the plants reach the right size, they're transplanted in fields, where they complete their cycle until the harvest between July and September. During the growing phase, the plants need sun, water, and nutrients. 96% of our tomatoes are grown according to integrated production methods. The remaining 4% are organic. Integrated production allows for the use of few fertilizers and agrochemicals, ensuring healthy products and reducing the impact of crops on the environment. Even water consumption's been reduced by 25% compared to traditional methods, thanks to innovative irrigation technology. Special sensors measure the moisture in the soil and tell us when to irrigate. Drip irrigation systems also allow us to only send water to where it's needed without waste. In our supply chain, the average distance between the field and processing plants is just 60 kilometers. As such, we make a fresh product and greatly limit CO2 emissions. During processing, the tomatoes are first washed, then steamed and peeled. The tomatoes are then processed to become paste, pulp and sauce. During this stage, the factors that most impact the environment are water and energy consumption. For this reason, the water used in the production process is used several times to reduce wastage of this important resource. And a proportion of our electricity is produced by renewable sources, thus also reducing CO2 emissions in this stage. Glass, Tetra Pak, aluminium tubes and steel cans are some of the types of packaging we use to market our products. Packaging production represents a significant portion of our environmental footprint. The results of this study have initiated a reflection process with our suppliers to obtain increasingly sustainable packaging. We're the first food chain that's calculated its product environmental footprint, and our data tells us that we're on the right track. For example, to produce 400 grams of sauce, which will prepare pasta for 3 people, we consume the equivalent of a shower's worth of water. This is all thanks to the use of new irrigation techniques and the recycling of water during the processing stage. The energy we use is equivalent to a Class A washing machine cycle, a result we've achieved by improving the efficiency of our processing plants. We release the same amount of CO2 into the atmosphere as a mid-sized car travelling 1.5 kilometres, all thanks to the short distance between the field and processing plants, and the use of energy from renewable sources. This study is just the beginning. Our commitment is to continue to improve our transparency and sustainability. Today, we can tell you how much impact our production has. Which other supply chain could give you the same information? Think about that the next time you buy a can of tomato pulp, sauce, or paste. The shared commitment to safeguarding the environment and climate also depends on your choices.